Hey everyone, how are you? So nice to see all of you. B, Gwyneth, E.T., everybody's here. Brian Pablo, Gnarly Cat. Today we are talking about how to not be clingy in a relationship. And clinginess is a deep-rooted sense of insecurity and fear, where you don't trust yourself. I am going to be talking about the two variations of this clinginess. The root cause, of course, is insecurity. And I want to then move into the actionable steps to assist you to understand how to transform your insecurities and how to feel grounded and safe and secure. I want to say hi to everybody. Now, about halfway through the show, Barb, my friend Barb, Gwyneth, and B, you remember her, and Ellie, you remember her from Munich. She's here in town. She and her friend came in from the airport. They want to get specific groceries for themselves. So they're at the local Safeway waiting for me to get done. So I told them, come straight out. And they're like, no, we want to get shopping. We don't want to bring our suitcase, whatever. I'm going to go pick them up in about 45 minutes. So let's start the day today. Hi, Kylie. Hi, how are you, everybody? Okay, how to not be clingy in a relationship. First of all, again, that's code for insecurity. Now, this is a lot like jealousy. There are two forms of insecurity. Those who are innately insecure by nature. You're just an insecure person. You doubt yourself. You doubt the decisions you make. Maybe you doubt your worth. You doubt your desirability. So you are innately insecure. And it probably isn't just in relationships. It leaks into every other part of your life. You kind of don't trust yourself enough. And then there are those of you who are environmentally insecure, functionality insecure, meaning you got a partner that makes you doubt yourself. And that is something completely different. And that would create clinginess. Like, do you want me? Do you like me? Maybe if I spend more time with them, the more they see me, the more they'll get to like me. And you start overdoing and overdoing to try to feel safe and secure. This is a normal response. This is why players know that once they've hooked you and gotten you and they pull away, they know it will activate the chase mechanism. It is for approval. Listen, firstly, all human beings have insecurities. You just don't see it because they're really, really good at hiding it. Some are not good, they're obvious. Others really are very good. And oftentimes it is our insecurities that really create many of the huge accomplishments in life. You know, people's fear of not being enough makes them climb to the top, or they set a goal like, if I can do a 6-figure book deal, then I'll be as good as my brother Tom, or, you know, if I can gain my parents' approval. You know, it works. Listen, Napoleon was short. He had an issue, tend to be a little bit accomplished, you know, so it's not a bad thing. We are going to learn to harness it for your good. Now, let me just say hi to everybody. Yes, I'm curious. You booked your flights. Okay, you're all talking to each other. This is great. I've got all my friends here. Firstly, if you're clingy, that means you are terrified to create space. Now, when you grab on too tightly to anything in life, you're going to make it resist. There is a skill and an art to it. But grabbing on tightly for safety and security, I have to warn you, there's only one person you can grab onto, and that's you. Yes, you've got family that love you. I hope you have support systems, but looking to another human being to validate you, to give you approval, like, imagine how unstable that is. If you're it's just logically, you can talk yourself out of it during the time that we do this show. When you just really start to think about it, like, is being clingy effective? Is it getting me what I want? No, it's not. The more I grab, the more they resist. And they may not even want to resist you. It's just that it's too much. People have a thing, especially in the beginning of relationships, where they want to feel as though they are moving at their own pace. And if somebody is clingy and grabbing on, there's this kind of enmeshment. I had a friend, dynamic personality, uh, interesting woman on every level, but she had a fear of abandonment. She's like, I got daddy issues. It's a fear of abandonment. So she knew where it was coming from, didn't help her because you have to, it's great. You can name it. My mommy spanked me when I was on the toilet. Somebody made fun of me in fourth grade. Great. You can name it, but we got to get you to transforming that. Okay. What is it in your head? And so, firstly, your greatest resource for everything, your power base, is in here, in you. So make friends with yourself, even if that seems like a very foreign concept. This is indeed one of the principles. And if any of you have a question, put it in super chat for me. I'll be happy to see it. Hi, David, Diego, Hola, John, how are you doing? Okay, so first of all, clingy. Again, it's fear, and you have erroneously mistook that if I grab, I can get them. But if you grab, probably they'll want to just wiggle away, all right? So here's how we do it. Firstly, figure out why. Why are you clingy? And I don't mean like mommy spanked me or something, embarrassed me. I mean, what is it that you need from that person that you can't give to yourself? What are you looking for them to do? And better yet, okay, I'm here talking about love and relationships, but really, love and relationships and partner selection is a big process. This is when I talked about the environmental factor. Many of you are clingy. You know why? Nothing wrong with you. You are with the wrong person. You are with somebody who, by their general nature, it makes them feel good. They're ambivalent. If you want to do that attachment business, okay, they're avoidant. It doesn't matter. They're not. How do you know that you're clingy, innately clingy, if you've just been dating people that are confused, don't know what they want, not focusing on you? That would make anybody feel anxious and insecure. And that would make you try to do the work for them. Nowadays, the ladies are going to laugh, but in a lot of straight relationships, I hear men don't pursue anymore. No, they were systematically told from the mid, like 2010, 2015, 2016, from male dating coaches not to pursue, make the woman pursue you. But now you'll have flash panners and you'll have players who pursue you dramatically in the beginning. Then they kind of back off. And then you start acting crazy because you start pursuing them. You start. So when you want to get together, I didn't hear from you. Are we going to see each other on Tuesday? I mean, you start doing the pursuing and you've lost everything. Is there something wrong with you? No. The partner just showed you who they are. They started one way, and it's false advertising. They pretended they were interested in you, then they just stop. So instead of going further and trying to get into it, you might want to have a really honest conversation and say, look, just saying, you pursued me. I responded. I like you, but I cannot do this on my own. All right. And I'm not going to be chasing you. If you'd like to get together with me, you've got to call me. If you want me to be responsive, you've got to keep communication with me. I'm completely demotivated and uninterested in somebody that doesn't want to pick up the ball. Okay? Because I know what I want. I mean, just don't be afraid to talk to them. David, you got these bright green markers for yourself. That's adorable. Let me just finish all this, okay? And if you have a question, put it in super chat. And if I have time after that, I'll get to the other questions in here. Okay. One, so figure out why you're clingy. This will help you. Not only will it help you, but if you find the root cause of why you're clingy, you can better work with a therapist and you can better explain it to yourself. I personally, for my disposition, I really like cognitive behavioral therapists. I like to understand that loop of sentences going through my head that are negative and capture them and transform them into something positive, or blow them apart and say, well, that's ridiculous. That doesn't make sense. That's illogical. And then that changes my pattern of thinking. I like that. It works for me. If you have a system that works for you, but deep-seated clinginess is deep-seated insecurity. If it is not in relationship to a sketchy partner that doesn't make you feel secure, then I urge you to get with a therapist. And I personally there's a new brand of therapy over the last 20 years called positive psychology. And when I heard about it, I'm like, oh my God, they believe the way I do. Meaning there is more that is right with you than there is that is wrong with you. And sometimes if we focus on what's right with you, more right will come into picture. So it's how to take a positive look at the situation instead of giving you 15 different words for why you're dysfunctional. You don't need those identities. You need to embrace the totality of your magnificence. That's it. Okay? So, one, figure out what the root cause is. Okay? And you can really work with a therapist on that. Two, all right, now that you know, if you're in a relationship, go ahead and talk to your partner. And if I don't suggest you bring this up on like first, second, or third dates and go, by the way, I've noticed I'm clingy. I'm working on it in therapy. Now, don't bring them problems for them to notice in a new relationship. But if you see something happen, I'd like you to be proactive. If you feel that they're doing this, you say, look, you know what? I had, and put it in the past tense, I had a pattern of being clingy and I had an insecurity. I'm working on it with my therapist. So if I get glitchy like this, know that I'm looking at it and I'm in the process of correcting it. Conversely, if they are doing something to activate this thing that you have harnessed and you have started to get mastery over, then you have to be very clear on whose stuff it is. Is it your innate insecurity? Or did they do something now where they flipped the script and you're starting to feel insecure when you before had reassurance? And in a case like that, I wouldn't go to the clinginess. I would go to the break in the pattern where you're confused and you would like clarity. Again, this involves an honest conversation with your partner. All right? That is step number 2. I'm looking for Barbie in case she comes online. Find ways to redirect your fear thoughts. Okay? So when you get into this loop, this is part of cognitive behavioral therapy too, but when you get into this loop, find a way to give yourself that thing that you're looking for. This is one of the keys about love. Like people that feel like, oh, I need love. I've been there. And I was advised to go work in a soup kitchen or go to an animal shelter. The advice was correct. When we give love, when we help, we're in service, we feel deeply rewarded. Human beings are just hardwired that way. So if you're feeling insecure, go reassure somebody else. There has to be somebody else that you can talk to. And so look for your support system. Do not make your partner the sun, the moon, the stars in your life. If you have framed in your mind that capturing and maintaining this person is the key to your happiness, you're pretty much screwed from day one. They can add to your happiness. They can enjoy the happiness you've already created with you. And they can, if they're a great partner, give you happy moments, happy times, and happy experiences, right? But they cannot create your long-standing sense of well-being and self-worth. No human being is magical, and they're not imbued with those powers. And if they had them, they'd probably fairly default to being selfish and using it for themselves, right? So let us deconstruct what we imagine this magical partner to be. Because if you have them on a pedestal, they better deserve it. So ask yourself, do they deserve the pedestal? Do they? What did I make them be in my mind? So these are questions to ask. All right. Let's see. The next one, I want you to think of boundaries and uh, apply your own boundaries to yourself. If you know you tend to grab on and enmesh with a person, seek to really create a dynamic life where you maintain your boundaries. So many people lose themselves, not because they're clingy or insecure. That's a byproduct that happens by accident later. But they get all excited about this new relationship and they just want to be with that person every day. And what if you've got a flash panner and they're asking to be with you every day? I just had somebody I was working with in 4 days in a row, and I said, that's cool, but you may want to slow the pace down, because what happens is oftentimes we go at the pace that they're going, or we catch up ourselves because we're so excited and caught up in the drama that we lose our own stability. The things that made us feel grounded, like getting 8 hours sleep. New relationships doesn't happen very often, right? You're together all the time. Going to the gym, seeing your friends. So if this person wants to see you 5 nights a week, and I know you're so whooped up in it, oh my God, it's so amazing. You may want to say, I would love to see you, but Friday night's my girl night this week. I really want to do. So when I say have boundaries for what you need to do. Don't give up your studying. Don't give up things that you had tickets forever, but oh my God, I could just like give it to somebody. No. Don't give up your existing life for that person, because if they're not there for you, then you'll become clingy. Okay? See, so that's the after effect. Let me see what I have here. Nafthuza, and a member for 7 months. That, if you don't know, that is my YouTube membership. These are people that proudly join, and we have communication, and I have a special Zoom call that I do with them every quarter or earlier. And I'm so happy. Thank you so much. She says, I think to have a healthy relationship, 2 complete individuals need to be involved. True, deep connection versus dependency and unhealthy attachment. Yes, girl, absolutely. I love that. Beautiful. Thank you so much for this. Doggy's barking outside. Boof, boof. I got her going. Boof. Nafthuza, thank you. That is brilliant. Hi, Susan. Hi, Lisa. ET says, from my experience, inner child work can be very helpful to gain confidence, self-compassion, and acceptance, turning to your own needs and self-soothing. Correct. Whatever methodology works for you is fantastic. Pablo says, hey, Susan, I met somebody exactly like that. Now she's completely disappeared. We call them flash panners. I think, I don't listen to everybody on YouTube. There are thousands of relationship experts nowadays. But I'm thinking there must have been some group coach that is advising people, and probably rightly so, to, when you meet somebody you like, immediately ask them to be in a relationship and lock down exclusivity. I have heard this pattern so many times over the last 6 months, and they bail within 4 weeks to 3 months. It's like they want to lock you down. And this is extraordinary, because poor millennials went for the past 20 years without getting into a relationship. Getting into a relationship was like climbing the Himalayas. And now you've got people going, hey, I really want you to be my boyfriend, my girlfriend. I really want us to be exclusive. So that is like a breath of fresh air. So of course, people leap right into it, only to realize that the pace, well, the directive is good. They know what they want. And they're at least closing, they're closing the gap and putting on the blinders to give an honest appraisal to what is possible. But they should speak it differently, because so many people are doing this. They get in, they're gung-ho, the pace is fast. They're like, it's not working for me. If we had more of an agreement, let's say, for example, you said, let's give this a month. Let's just see each other for 1 month and see how it goes, and talk about it as we move through this process. I really like you. I'd like it to be more than a month. Let's take 1 month at a time. That's like a lease. Okay, does anybody else? Nafthuza, okay, we got this. Thank you so much, dear. I appreciate that super chat. If you have any questions for me, and I'm also looking for David, 25. Thank you so much, dear Susan. Please read my comments. All right, David, where are you? Okay, you have 3 here in a row, 4 in a row. Okay, here we go. I'm 31. She's my coworker, 28. She's very, very, very shy. She's sending me mixed messages. I think she has a boyfriend. That's a no-go zone. And she's shy. We text, go to lunch, and share pictures. How should I proceed? Well, you're already micro-cheating, whether you know it or not. And I guess she's allowing it, so maybe she's figuring her way out in this. We share beliefs and musical tastes. Should I tell her I have feelings? I'm looking for something real. We are in different departments. Okay, good. So you don't have an HR problem. Okay, David. I think the first thing you have to do is ask her if she has a partner and ask her how that relationship is going. Because right now you've got a crush on her and you're seeing her, and she's obviously compliant, but you do need to find it. This is a very basic fact. Like, are you married? Do you have a boyfriend? Is it clear to proceed? That will tell you whether you reveal your emotions to her or not. And if she's hesitant to answer, just say, I'm actually, if she's hesitant to answer and she looks down and doesn't give you an answer, you could, as another option, if you feel so bold, very elegantly, but very directly say, I really like you. And if you were free, I'd like to get to know you better. Okay, something like that. I hope that helps you, David. Okay, thank you. I think this is wonderful. Just, yeah, if you tell somebody right off the bat you have feelings for them, I think it's that you'd like to get to know them better, that you like all that you see about them. All right? David, thank you so much. Oh, Baba. Barbara is here. Hi, Suze, from me and Kim at Safeway. Whoop, whoop. My girls are waiting at Safeway. They could have come here with their suitcases. I would have driven you back. Okay, my ladies are in town. So ask me the questions if you've got them. We are talking about clingy, and clingy is insecurity. And again, before you start to label yourself as like, oh, I'm clingy, I'm insecure, is it environmental? Are you dating people where you've just had bad partner selection? Remember, when somebody knows that they want what you want and they're clear that they want it with you, you're not going to have this question. You will have issues. You'll have a little bit of shifting gears as you go through the process. And there's always insecurity on both parts. Like, no, they didn't text me back for 4 hours. Are they dumping me? But the rest of it is good. It's all good. Okay, $5. Oh, hello, beautiful. How are you doing, Nafthuza? Thank you. I'm the opposite of clingy, which also causes issues, and I have no patience dealing with men who haven't done inner work to handle their insecurities. I know. We've commented, we've heard a lot of this. I think you're so strong and you're so clear that I would almost ask you, you can pretty well suss out these guys. And so if you have no patience for them, it just means I pass easily on this person. But I think what I'd really like you to do for your own homework, just because we haven't done this with you, I'd like you to, after you get off the show, if you have time, write down 3 qualities you'd really, really, really like to experience in your dating world that you have not experienced. The I wants, because we know a ton of your I don't wants. Every week we hear I don't want. And I know you've done some of the I wants before, but I'd like you to really look at those and let's try to see what would happen as an experiment, because you're going to be here next week and hopefully the week after. Let's see if you started targeting, these are the qualities I want to experience. I'm looking for someone, for example, who is kind-hearted, secure, and is, appreciative of my power, not in competition of it, or whatever your stuff is. And just, I want to see if it doesn't come to you a little bit more easily. We might as well, right? Let's give it a try. Naftusa, thank you so much, my dear. Thank you. Barbara and Kim are here. Okay, let's see. Hi, all. David, you are welcome, my dear. I hope that helps you. Let's start with the most obvious. If the road is clear, then you can progress, even if she's shy. Well, this is interesting. The girl's shy, but she's already taken foods and conversations with you. Okay. All right. The last thing is take time to focus on yourself. Okay. You can be dating and focusing on yourself. But what you do is you try to make sure that whatever hobbies, friends, family, support system, things that give you joy. Very oftentimes, the person who is clingy is very other directed. And that's not a bad thing. It's a beautiful human quality, but it's left unchecked. It's out of balance. So you can probably tell me if you think you've been clingy in the past or now, you probably can rattle off 10 things that your partner desperately needs that you want to give them, that you're currently giving them to help them. You're going to help them with their career. You're going to help them with their life. You're going to help them with their groceries. You're going to help make their life easy with introductions. You're going to help whatever. You're going to do stuff for them, right? That's cool. You know what they want. But do you know what you want? Do you know what you want in the process? Because being too other focused means that we can easily lose ourselves in the process. And clinginess is the loss of self. You gave up your identity for them. And in that moment that you evacuated your own life, you gave them permission, this person you may or may not know well, permission to determine how you feel about yourself. And we can't do that. Okay? That's a no-no. That's a no-no. All right? We can't do that. Anybody else here have any questions for me? Oh, thank you. Great advice. I definitely want to attract a man who is masculine, kind, and a gentleman. Oh, girl, gentleman, absolutely. It says so much. It says so much. And I don't mean open the door and sleep with my sister if I had a sister. That's not gentleman. Because people cherry pick that stuff. I used to, in the few moments that I was online, Barb remembers we were on Cougar Life together. I was interviewing the head of Cougar Life years ago. And it wasn't so much like bots and stuff like that, but it was like, and cam girls, it was like really whatever. And I said, oh, Barb, I've got all these people online. And she goes, I had 1,700 this morning. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. But we were talking about, oh God, where did I go with this? Shit, I hate it when I do this. Okay, I'll get there. I'll get back. Somehow we do this. What we do? Oh, a true gentleman. There we go. Okay, this is either age or something. So I wrote in my profile, I am seeking a true gentleman, a man that I can admire. I mean, I'm talking about character, quality, honesty, integrity. I think a true gentleman, that's a beautiful thing. You have to be a lady, get a gentleman. You gotta be the equal bookmark. Okay. And I'm sure you are. Okay. So here we go. Now let's see what else we have here. David, I think you're talking to other people. Anton, hello. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? I want to talk to all of you, but remember, my girl and Kim are at the Safeway. Any other questions? Okay. So remember, these are the points. Only you can make yourself feel safe and secure. And a big part of that is choosing the right kind of partner. I don't think people give enough attention to partner selection. It's oftentimes 98% of the battle. Now, as far as dating and getting into a relationship, partner selection is very good. That's huge. I also know, in everyone's defense, that what you see in the beginning isn't always who they are. I understand that. And I understand that you, like many of us, will be given, people will misrepresent themselves and you'll be given false information that you think, oh my God, this is wonderful, and get into it and realize, wow, they're nothing like I thought. This is so disappointing. All right. So correct partner selection. And I think the easiest overarching thought you can have is, I'm going to choose an inherently good human being. And that has always been my marker. If I choose an inherently good, kind, thoughtful human being, one that who would never delight in hurting me, one who would only seek to be good to me, because that's who they are. That's who they are with me. That's who they are with everybody. They're in right order with themselves. If you start with that, you start with good material, you are going to be a lot better off. And I know many, many, many of you are like, oh, but I can fix them. Been there, done that. Oh, yeah. It is a full-time job and you are exhausted. And guess what? When you take your hand away and take away the support, they go back to who they were. Very rarely can we, it's a beautiful thing to support your mate. It is. But are you doing all the heavy lifting? This is the point I have to come back to. Because clingy people, you know why you cling? Your tank is on empty. You have given them everything. You've given them all the right to your power. You've given them all the right to your worth. And now you've given them all your time and your attention. You've sacrificed yourself to them. No wonder you feel clingy, because your tank is completely empty and they're not filling it. So this is a no-go situation. Some of this is very logical, but love and attraction are not logical. They're just not. So we try to embed these teachings here. Okay. Now, so y'all understand that. And again, their approval does not equal your self-worth. Okay. Oh, Kylie. Hi. Oh, wait, this is David. Okay, wait, I got mixed up here. Okay. MX. Hi, David. 125. Oh my God. Okay. Let's say she has a boyfriend. Why a girl go into another man's car and go out to lunch and do boyfriend stuff? At one time she said she's seeing a guy, but when I ask her, what did you do last weekend? I stayed at home. Dating isn't build a bear. Cece, I adore you. $2. Dating isn't build a bear workshop. That's a thing here in the U.S. Maybe you have it worldwide where you just build your bear. Okay, so David, here's the thing. I'd like you to ask a direct question. She's getting in a car with you. That's already kind of sketchy for most people. I mean, I don't just jump in a car with her. Well, if they have a puppy in the back and sugary treats in the front, yeah, I'll do it. Okay, I admit. But you need to ask her point blank. Are you with somebody right now? And then to clarify, just because you never know, and just say, it's really simple, yes or no. And then you may want to counter also by saying, and does somebody think they're with you? Because this is beyond micro cheating. This is now getting into emotional infidelity. Well, those of us in a relationship, we know we don't jump in some guy's car and have lunch with them and flirt with them and stuff like that. We just don't, especially if we're innately shy. That's a big move. So, David, my best advice, and thank you for your generosity, is figure out the lay of the land first. Is it clear? Get a direct answer. And if she hesitates, looks away, you may want to say, again, I'm sorry, just, is this a yes or a no? I need to know how to proceed with you. I like you and I just want to know how to proceed. Because you don't want to get in the way of another guy. Okay? So thank you. What do we have here? Okay, we've got David. Okay. And we've got Nathusa. Oh, Nathusa, $5. Hi, honey. Thank you. Unfortunately, I do gameplay with testing if a man would take initiative. Example, ask about a simple car issue to see if they would help. Am I wrong? Yeah, if they're in financial services, they got no idea what's under the hood. You know, it depends. If the guy's an auto mechanic, that makes sense. Oh, okay. I know you're a supporter and I know you're in this group. Do not take this the wrong way. I would really ask you to put testing them on the side. It's a huge, I know it's like It's like giving up something for Lent. But I would ask you, here's why. I believe if you start with the energy of game woven in to any part of your filtration system, that it could pollute the soil and the person you're with. Can you find another way to get the information you want without testing them? I mean, honestly, many of us have been tested in the past. And I know one of the things was like get into a relationship quickly and then take them on a long distance trip where they can't get away and test to see how they respond over a weekend or a week. Or guys would bring some conflictual thing and just like attack you, just to test you, to see how you are. I think what you mean is that you are deciphering and discovering whether they are correct. And I would ask you to go from a much more positive and clean directive in your evaluation process, to just find another alternative. Okay, this is just my feeling from this, because we want to try the stuff we haven't tried before. So this goes for all of you. If you've done something and it doesn't work, time to go back and amend stuff. Try what you haven't tried. What have you not thought of? This is where we begin to take control of our dating life. Like, I've done this, this, and this. This is not working. It's either not working because nothing is going to work with this person that you're with, or it's not working because you just need a slight adjustment. Remember, in a relationship and getting to know somebody, it's a lot like teaching. You've had teachers that stand in the lecture hall and go, blah, 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 blah. Nobody gets a thing they say. But the teachers who find you, they learn your voice, they learn your language. You can merge with these people and learn who they are and ask questions, not in an intrusive way, but in a truly, like, I'm really interested way, right? Oh, no, please don't let me touch the wrong buttons here. Okay, wait. Okay, I just wanted to get to everybody. See, I dated a non-handyman, but he cooked me lots of dinners and was caring, and he can research a mechanic. They aren't all handy. Okay, Naftusa says, yeah, I should be more open and forgiving. Well, you don't have to be more forgiving of what you don't want. I mean, they're human. Maybe they're not right for you. Be discerning. How about that? Let's use the word discerning for you, okay? I'm very much an A-type personality and rigid with my approaches. That could be a little something to look at, and need to connect with my heart, not only my mind. Girl, you got it. Let's try this revamp of who you are, okay? Cece, I fail tests on purpose when I detect them testing. I agree with you. Okay, I keep pushing these buttons and I'm so afraid I'm going to like push off this thing here. Okay, here we go. How do I get down to the bottom? I think there are more questions here. Oh Lord, I need. Okay, I guess that's it. All right, everyone. Any more questions before I leave? Because I want to go pick up Baba. Let's see. So are you all good on this? Remember, being clingy is a form of insecurity, okay? And you really need to figure out, one of the things that I say is, whose stuff is it? You know, knowing, let's say you have normal insecurities in a new relationship, and they're just absolutely normal. Like, you know, it's new, you like them, there's a lot on the line, and you're not sure how it's going to go. You want it to go well, and they pull back, and, you know, you're like, oh God. But there's a difference between that and being really insecure as your default. Okay, so everybody's a little insecure, especially in the sketchy days of a new relationship. So again, I'm going to go over PV. You must not have seen my question. Did PV send it in? So PV, I noticed everything that comes through in Super Chat. Otherwise, I'm really struggling to find all this. There's a lot of commentary, and I may miss it. If you really, really want me to see it, put it in a Super Chat, and I don't see it. Okay, so now we're going to move on. All right, so you know what to do. So one, figure out why you're clingy. work on the root cause, okay? And two, this is just a Susan thing. Is it environmental? Are they creating your clinginess? Or are you naturally clingy because you were terrified of abandonment, or you fear that everybody's going to dump you? If you've got a loop that says, oh, everybody leaves me, that has to be broken. And that requires more than positive thinking. That actually does require professional work to help you get through that. And talk to your partner. If you see yourself doing something, be proactive and say, I'm aware of it. I'm working on it. Let me know. Let's work together on this. I'm a really cool person. Okay. Find ways to redirect those fear thoughts when you first get them. Calm yourself down. Analyze, why is this my response? And then I want most of you dating right now, when you say, why am I responding this way? Did they set it up so that's exactly what you do? Is it for their security? Because I tend to believe there are fewer people out here who are innately clingy than there are people that they are choosing who are wrong for them, that are making them doubt themselves over and over and over and over and over again. All right? Also, establish your boundaries and respect them. Don't give up your life totally for this new person. I know it's hard. In the beginning, there's a lot of momentum and it's so exciting, but you have to have some time out. And you will notice this very weird shift in your relationship. As you're getting into maybe past the first month into the second month, you may notice your partner starts to pull back from you. Not because they dislike you, but they realize too that they've given you 4 out of every 7 nights. They haven't done their laundry. They didn't do their taxes. It's like you give up a lot of yourself in the beginning of a relationship. So we're trying to allow ourselves to go with the flow and keep the excitement going, while at the same time pacing ourselves to not lose who we are in the process and give up those things that keep us feeling strong and secure. Also, let's see, Gnarly Cat. Okay, Gnarly Cat, thank you for being my additional moderator here. Susan made a video about that exact subject. Only about 850 of them. I'm sure you're going to find it in there someplace. And take time to focus on yourself and keep up with yourself. Okay, everyone, I'm going to go catch Barbie doll because I do love her so dearly. My dear sweet friends that waited all this time for me, and that is so nice. Let's see. Now, I want to show you, I'm so excited about the merch store. This is one of those. Okay, so when you're starting to feel clingy, I want you to ask yourself, is it them? Yeah, maybe it's them. Okay, it's not me. This time it's you. Bad behavior. We've got this out here. We've got some really cool new merch. One says, keep the dream, replace the person. Half of you have to replace the person you're with. That's probably just general for 50% of the people here. Okay, let's see. Stop telling yourself you're going to fail. Change that narrative you keep telling yourself. Jocelyn, right on the money. We have to work with ourselves in a very positive manner. Everybody, be gentle with yourselves. This is a rugged time of dating. When I dated, the goal was to try to, and everybody got married. It was what one did. People pursued you for a relationship. It is a very different time period. If you know what you want, be very clear. Do not amend your standards to accommodate to just getting something. Well, you've got something, I promise you there will be a price tag on that. And it will make your clinginess even more, because they'll probably leave because you've lost yourself. That's another thing. A lack of attraction. You know why a lot of times people lose attraction for the person they were attracted to? The person evaporates. They lose themselves in trying to please the other person. They totally lose their spark, their whatever. Don't be afraid to speak up in a relationship. That really hurt me when you did that. I don't care if it's a new partnership. You got to tell the truth. If you can't tell the truth in the beginning, you are never going to do it later on. And nobody told me to do this in my 20s. Nobody. We didn't have stuff like this. You were just supposed to know what to do. Okay. All right. So let's see. What else do I want to say? We got new merch, so take a look at it. If you want a consultation with me, just book it. Don't wait another 6 or 8 months. We can probably clear through something in 45 minutes that you've been worrying about for a long time. And I think people wait far too long. Don't worry. I can do a lot in the time period that you give me. You would be surprised. And the dating games guide. If you're not sure, you're feeling kind of crazy, kind of insecure, you're always defaulting to feeling clingy, maybe they're doing stuff and you just can't identify it. And you keep going back and thinking, it's me. No, it's not you. So get the dating games guide. It's the AI that will guide you to any one of 10 hours of videos that I have on seduction, tricks, ways to get you in the gate and then dump you. All the different terms for these weird things that people are doing nowadays that are bad dating behavior, and the hot and cold, how to handle it. Because I don't just define it. I'm going to tell you what to do about it. And I think it's like $49 or something. Anybody in my YouTube family, you get a discount automatically. All right. So that should be on checkout. So you just get your discount anyway. All right. And if you don't, write to me. Okay, media@susanwinter.net. If you have a question, go to contact@susanwinter.net. Go to the bottom underneath all the different agents and go to the thing that says Q&A video request. If I didn't get to your question here, I will get to it at another time. Just try me again. I try and get to as many as I can, but of course I'm going to pay attention to my members first, and then I'm going to pay attention to the people that send me the super chat. So everyone, have a wonderful time. When you catch yourself being clingy, ask yourself those questions. Go through these steps, replay this again. You can be your best diagnostician. You know how to do this, okay? And then just take it one step at a time. And remember, nobody gets to tell you what your self-worth is. Nobody has that right. Not only do they not have the right, they don't have the ability, okay? All right, everyone, see you here next week. Thank you so much, Gwyneth, B, everyone that joined from my family, Gnarly Cat, Pablo, everybody, Nafthusa. Thank you so much. We'll see you here next week. Bye, everyone. Thank you.